Hi. You know that it's a stupid time in America when you can't decide what bad thing you want to talk about this afternoon. Do you want to talk more about the overturning of Roe versus Wade and the effects that will have on people with uteruses in this country? Do you want to talk about the fact that Obergefell may be overturned because of Roe versus Wade being overturned, lack of coverage under the 14th Amendment? Obergefell gives same-sex couples the right to marry. Do you want to talk about Oklahoma versus Castro Huerta, which directly attacks the sovereignty of indigenous nations within the United States? Do you want to talk about the fact that in the fall, the Supreme Court will be reviewing the Indian Child Welfare Act? That's the act that allows tribal nations to determine the care of their own children, as opposed to the state government doing it. We all know what happens the last time non-native communities were responsible for the care of their own children. That's Indian residential boarding schools, and we all know how that ended up. So it's a tough choice, and there's a lot of other things to choose from. The EPA's lack of ability to regulate the energy sector. I could just keep going. So instead, I guess what I'll focus on for the moment is the fact that the Biden administration had the Health and Human Services Department remind doctors that they are required to give women abortions if abortion resolves a deadly issue for them. If a woman goes to a hospital, regardless of the laws of the state, and she has a condition that can only be treated by abortion, granted it's a deadly or very serious condition, the doctor has to provide the abortion. Of course, one of the many problems with this is how long will it take for a doctor to make that decision? In the cases of women who have gone septic because of miscarriages or ectopic pregnancies, time is of the essence. And moreover, what if it's not a health emergency that you walk into an ER with? What if you live in an abusive home? That's an emergency. What if you can't afford another child, and now with the cutting of free lunch and the continued tightening down of the access to food and services, you can't afford another child? That is an emergency. I'm so frustrated, and I've got a ton of white privilege going, so if I'm frustrated, I am genuinely sorry for everyone else. This is nuts. Just nuts.